Welcome to Computer Vision Streams. I'm your host Anton, and today we will check out NVIDIA multi-URI source bin from NVIDIA DeepStream package. So here you see an example of a pipeline that could process multiple RTSP streams, and we can use REST API to add additional streams to the pipeline, to remove streams from the pipeline, and also to change different parameters of the pipeline. So here we have added the third stream, and we see that they have been processed in parallel. Let's see what happens under the hood. We start with a sample pipeline that is using NVIDIA DeepStream Service Maker, and we create pipeline starting with NV multi-URI source bin that listens on port 9000 of localhost, that ignores end of stream signals because we would like our pipeline to run even when there is no streams to process. Like that, our pipeline could wait for additional streams to process without terminating itself. Then we can control stream MUX parameters as batch size and the size of output images. Afterwards, we have our standard neural network inference plugin, and then tiler to output multiple images on the same window. So in the DeepStream 6.2, NV multi-URI source bin was still in alpha version. It was a little bit raw. In DeepStream 7, I was expecting it to be improved. It has a lot of different features, such as file looping or support of smart records. But mainly we are interested in the REST API of this plugin and in adding and removing streams dynamically. So here when the scenes start to get interesting. So let's take a look at stream add and stream remove. So here is quite simple. We have an API with stream add and data in JSON format with camera ID, camera URL, and a change parameter with additional metadata and headers. And for stream remove, we have another endpoint, which is stream remove. And strangely, the important parameter would be change in the data of our payload. Without it, this method will not work. So let's have a demonstration. I'm restarting the sample pipeline. In the README available in the GitHub repository, you will find the sample curl requests to the REST API service, but how to add the RTSP stream to processing. You will find another video about how to stream different video files as RTSP streams with NVStreamer in the flashcard. So let's add a stream. So here we see that our server received stream add request, but accidentally nothing happened. It might be due to the fact that I am using Docker and trying to visualize with Windows, or it might be to the fact that there is some internal bug in this REST API that I still have not found. So basically we have our stream working, processing. Let's take a look. As I said, we have a remove stream URL, remove URL. Let's use exactly the same post request with remove endpoint. So we see our request post remove, but we still continue to observe that our pipeline is still running. And what is the problem? The problem is that internally in the code, both add and remove API are handled by the same function, and then function checks the value of change parameter. So this is where interesting things happen. So I will have the same post request as I used previously for adding stream, and I will just change the change value. So we see our stream is working, and because our handle function uses change value to decide which action to perform and not the URL, it will remove our stream. So that is very strange. And I wanted to take a look at the implementation of, and I started looking at GST NV multi-URI source bin with NVDS REST server start function, which contains all the API endpoints and handlers. 1 second. So here we have a different API endpoints that will add remove streams and then update different parameters of different plugins, including inference server and encoder and image conversion and muxers and even handling application. And when we will look into the stream callback implementation, we will see that we have a little bit of manual parsing and 1 second. We have this comparison of value change field that will change behavior depending on the value of the field and not depending on the URI endpoint. Why this happens? Because the implementation of REST API is done with low-level web server, which is Civet Web, that does not support creation of fast API of REST API. And maybe if you want to use it in a very simple use case, where you will just add and remove streams for some demo purposes, that might be good enough. But if you want to develop some additional functionality, it's much better to use something that is much more high level and maybe Python-like, like a Python Flask REST API or Python Fast API. And one of the example is a Crow micro framework for web services. We learned how to use NV multi-URI source bin, how to add and remove streams for processing, and looked into the code to see what are the undefined or surprising behaviors from the underlying code. We will look into more functionality from DeepStream sample applications in future videos. If you need any help with DeepStream or other NVIDIA libraries, you can reach me out through social links or using the link in the description. And I will see you in the next video.